Hello everyone. Thank you for being with us today for this roundtable whose purpose is to talk about data and AI transformation in the pharma industry. So maybe to start, Virginie, can you tell us a little more about your data and AI strategy at Servier? On which part of the value chain are you investing the most?
Hello everyone, very happy to be with you today with this great panel. At Servier, obviously, like any life science company, we have data and AI opportunity all along our value chain, from research, development, supply chain, production, promotion, and obviously patient services. But what we do at Servier is that we invest more than half of our resources and budget to R&D issues. Why so? It's really linked to who we are. We are historically leader in cardiology and hypertension, but 5 years ago we decided to diversify and to move to rare disease with very high unmet need, specifically in oncology, but also in neuro. When we are talking about rare disease, the first challenge that you have is to understand the disease, which by definition is rare, unknown. So we invest, as I said, 50%, more than 50% of our data and AI resources on R&D and 2/3 on the very early phases of research. Disease understanding, target discovery, and then drug design. Once again, we need to fight those very nasty diseases and we need to understand them first. But obviously, we also are using AI and we want to use it more all along the R&D value chain for post-market and pharmacovigilance issues, obviously, but also something which is very close to our heart, which is the real-world evidence use tomorrow in clinical trials. We are not there yet. We are facing technical issues, we are facing regulatory issues, but when you are trying to fight rare disease with very high unmet needs, and you enter a clinical study putting patients under placebo, you know, it's not very satisfying. So this is our grail, sometimes in the near future, to be able to use real-world evidence in our clinical trials.
Thank you very much, Virginie. A very important topic also is how we can use data to improve the patient care pathway. Isabelle, at AstraZeneca France, you have launched many initiatives in this sense. Can you tell us more about that, please?
Yes, thank you. So yes, in AstraZeneca France, our purpose is to improve patient pathway and to find the right medicine for the right patients, right time. And of course, we are using health data for that. Just let me underline something very obvious, but we are very lucky in the health sector to have so generous data, a large variety, a large amount of data, text, images, etc. We are very lucky. And there are few sectors, I'm coming from telco, I think that we are in the panel, other people coming from other sector, and there are no other sector with so rich data to improve the way we work and we care patients. But at the same time, to be honest, we're not very good yet. And there are many sectors and industries that are really better in using data and personal data in their sector as we should use health data today. And so in AstraZeneca France, we are building partnership with startups to find solutions to improve diagnostic identification of patients in the therapeutic area where we work. And I think that today we can all see a lot of technological, I will say, magnificence, but how a very interesting technology. Today in this conference we see in the main stage a lot of nice new technology, very efficient, very effective for the patient. One thing in AstraZeneca we're also doing to try to leverage this impact of health data is to help the whole ecosystem to understand the importance of this data. And especially the physician, the healthcare professionals. Today, we have the technology, and yes, really today, please see all the stage, all the startups today, and how powerful technologies they had to treat, to help patients. And at the same time, we have to be very, very cautious about the usage. The healthcare professional, they are at the both ends of the chain. They collect the data, and then they use the data and an AI to help the patient. And we have to convince them, to help them to understand the importance of this AI and of this health data. And so in AstraZeneca France, we are helping to try to meet, to let physician and mathematician people meet. We have a conference on pneumologists named Let's Talk AI, where we meet mathematician and physician, because physicians need to understand the importance of the health data for the healthcare ecosystem. They are key in the usage, and the nice technology without any usage, we all know how it ends. So yes, we have a partnership with startups, but my main concern every day is usage and how physicians can be convinced and involved in that usage.
Very clear. Thank you very much, Isabelle. We discussed R&D, we discussed how data and AI can help in improving the patient care pathway. Uday, can you tell us at Ipsen, how you are using data and AI to improve your manufacturing activities and also the go-to-market of your medicine?
Yeah, sure. So thank you. So as for Servier and AstraZeneca, we at Ipsen, we do believe that there are a lot of opportunities for digital data and analytics and artificial intelligence across the value chain, from drug discovery, etc., to make sure that the patients get their treatment. However, in the context of the transformation, we have chosen to focus on a few areas. One of them is R&D, like Servier, and also manufacturing and customer experience. So if I take customer experience, the main objective is how we can make sure that we use data and insights to innovate the go-to-market model and enhance the customer experience. And this is very specific to the areas that we are serving, that are also oncology, neurology, rare diseases, where we have very limited audiences. So the traditional go-to-market models with the rep-driven models and emails and so on, they do not really work. So it means that how can I be more specific in a way how I engage with my audiences? So it's the omni-channel, or the omni-channel approach, how to make sure that I have the right audiences, that I understand them, understand their needs, use the data and AI in order to better understand the patient care pathway, and then engage with the audiences through the channels and the content that they use. So it's the traditional omnichannel approach. But what is more important is the role that we are having into making sure that the patient gets the treatment. And this is where we, data modeling and artificial intelligence plays also a very pivotal role. So in certain disease areas, patients are getting diagnosed 5 to 7 years or more after first symptoms appear, or even they do not appear. So our focus, and this is where we have developed a few digital health solutions, leveraging AI, is how we can make sure that when the patient presents to the GP, that the GP, based on a certain parameters, can be blood test, can be certain elements through the interview, gets an alert and using an AI algorithm to tell this patient is more likely to present this condition, so please do the additional tests. And this is very powerful. It's making the patient less lost in the system. And it's the first person, the GP, so how we can empower the GPs, the general practitioners, to make sure that they can diagnose in a timely manner. When it comes to manufacturing, it's also about making sure that the patients get their treatment. So how we can accelerate manufacturing, how we can enhance capacity, efficiency, and quality. And I can give one example on which we are working, is about manufacturing quality. So how can I determine the right parameters that can impact the quality of my product? So instead of throwing away the product at the end of the process because it's not meeting the quality requirements, how can I detect what will impact along the process and the value chain, using also AI and algorithm, and predict and act on these parameters in a timely manner? And at the end, it's streamlined processes and also streamlined supply chain.
Thank you very much. We see through all of your testimonies that AI has really the power to disrupt the entire value chain. We all know that collaborating with the ecosystem is key to succeed in this data and AI strategy. Philippe, can you tell us how at Microsoft you are supporting the pharma industry and the healthcare ecosystem to achieve their data and AI strategy?
Yes, so I'm honored to be within this panel. In Microsoft, we have dedicated teams working on the health sector, with clients and partners, from research to accelerating clinical trials, securing clinical trials, up to accelerating and optimizing go-to-market and supply chain. 2 years ago, we decided to set up a set of labs, which we call AI for Science, gathering people from pharmacology, medicine, but also quantum physicists, data scientists, mathematicians, to all work on what we call the fifth paradigm of scientific discovery, which is about to tackle the complexity of some equations you have to solve. If you look at the number of stable materials, for example, you're playing with in pharma, the number of stable materials is about the square of the number of atoms in the universe. So we are using machine learning and AI to work with this ecosystem on researching new drugs, working on protein folding and such things. And we are outputting a lot of things as open source. As an example, a bio-GPT model, which we fine-tuned for specific use cases in that field. So that's the research ecosystem part. Then to be able to give those ecosystems the power to compute those complex equations, we've built a dedicated supercomputer, which we started with OpenAI a few years ago. Now it's third generation. And it's not only used for inferencing AI, but also for high performance computing, and especially in the field of pharma. To give you a sense of so it's now the top supercomputer available on the public cloud to train GPT 3.5. So it's a huge model. On that supercomputer, it takes us now less than 4 minutes. So it's a huge, massive amount of highly performance computing, which is in the hand of the research ecosystem to work on those key topics. The next is working on making data available with a highly secured, compliant data privacy features. And we are working, we have helped set up several data platforms for health. And we announced new technologies which we are including in that, which we call confidential computing, which allows to encrypt all the data, but also the code which is executed, the AI code, when you execute the model. So everything is encrypted in memory, and only the CPU has the ownership of the key to decrypt the information. Can be the key of the research lab, can be the key of a client, can be the key of a patient. And we have accelerated a lot of clinical trials, for example, using that by gathering information from different hospitals, sharing them through a model which can learn from those different informations without having any party able to get access to the data. So that's the second thing, working extensively on the data availability and how to feed that data in the supercomputer to process them. Then the third part is about saving time, because those people need to focus on research or on clinical trials, on go-to-market. So that's a whole bunch of new generative AI solutions, because especially in pharma, we see that there are a lot of unstructured information, a lot of papers to screen every day, a lot of information within the company, including graphical representations of molecules, complex things. And now with multimodal models, we can analyze those data. So we developed a solution, for example, to be able to search in the papers similar molecular drawings, even if they are not represented in the same 3D view, link that to text to fasten the discovery of new papers, maybe that that were published yesterday that would accelerate your work. And also unsiloting the work within the companies and through the ecosystem. Because we found with our clients and partners that you can see that in different areas, there are specific researchers, maybe marketing people, maybe doctors working, and they are all using their own vocabulary. And what we found is using generative AI, we can have a kind of a search engine. We can tell them, okay, it seems that in your company or in your partner's ecosystem, it seems that the team is working on the same topic of that you. But today it's very difficult because the amount of information is huge, and also because there are not. It's like one team talking English and the other one talking Spanish and the other one talking Chinese, and generative AI can put that link and ease and fasten the flow of information, which is key to accelerate all the topics we've learned before. And then it's all about how the ecosystem can extend to the production level.
You're very passionate, but I think that we need to move forward to the other question. Sorry to interrupt, but it's good to see tech partners so passionate about helping us.
Thank you very much, Philippe. Indeed, partnering with big tech players is key for the pharma industry. Maybe, Virginie, can you tell us a little more on the collaboration you have, to succeed in your R&D strategy?
Yeah, I like to say that drug discovery is so challenging that nobody can do it all alone. So we are partnering with many actors. It's true in science. It's true also in technology. So each time we will have data and AI initiative for R&D, we will want to have an approach where we wonder, do we want to do it all alone, to make it ourselves, because this kind of technology is a strategic asset that we want to master, or there is a competitive advantage to have it, or do we want to buy the technology but because it's existing from our dear tech partners? So we are also partnering with the big gamma actors, obviously, we all do, or we want to do it in partnering with actors maybe like biotechs and so on. So we have example of partnering with Oncodesign Precision Medicine, or with Aitia. We've developed digital twins with causal AI, which is very sophisticated. In this kind of project, we can't do it alone because they've spent 10 years developing their engine. So if we need to accelerate, partnering is also something that we would like to consider. We are also partnering with Okin, which is well known, I think. And in any case, even if we want to go partnering or buying a technology, we need to have good tech individuals within the teams. Because at some point, to buy good science, you need good scientists in your teams. To buy good technology, you need good tech guys within your teams, able to open the engine and to understand what the technology will bring you. So basically, we'll have to do it because once again, our goal, and it has been shared with Ipsen, is to find new drug for the patient suffering hard to treat rare disease.
Thank you, Virginie. We are discussing collaboration. Maybe, Isabelle, can you tell us a word on Agoria Santé that you are developing at AstraZeneca France with your partner?
Yes, thank you. So I totally agree. We can't do it alone. We have to be together to tackle this health data issue, and Agoria Santé is an initiative to accelerate access to health data and research. It had been launched 2 years ago with DocaPost, and it's led by DocaPost, a subsidiary of La Poste. And today we are 4 members, of which Takeda and AstraZeneca France, and other partners. A lot of startups have joined Agoria Santé as partners. So what is it? Agoria Santé is first a data warehouse when we can host health data with how the regulatory framework is had been authorized by CNIL, the French regulator, to host and link national claims database, this famous SNDS, our very famous French asset. Really consider that we are in international companies. This national claim database is a true asset for the French ecosystem. And so we have this authorization to host and link data from this SNDS inside Agoria. And Agoria globally want to standardize process of negotiation, of contractualization, of discussion with regulators, with this conviction that if we reinvent one per one the process to access to SNDS, to access to a database, it will be exhausting for the system. And we consider that if we are together aligned on standards as a member, as industrials, as pharma companies, it will be easier for all the rest of the system to save time. As you said, your third point, saving time. So we are not saving time by technology. We are saving time by by standardization on legal and regulatory pathway. And if you want to know more, we have a masterclass at 2:20.
Thank you very much. Maybe Philippe, can you tell us quickly how Microsoft can help the ecosystem in building trust?
Yes, I already mentioned the security, data privacy, and compliance execution. One key topic on top of that, and especially with AI, is what we call responsible AI. We've been working extensively for the past 7 years on that, and it's embedded in our processes for the past 6 years. Every country, I'm the leading of the Responsible AI Committee for France, so every project is screened. And it's important to understand that AI is a statistical engine, so it can make mistakes if you don't provide the right question or the right context. So it all starts with the first steps of designing, thinking about an AI system, what's the aim of the system, then how to execute and counter the negative effects, potential effects. So it's all about transparency. First one is having the user informed that he or she is speaking with an AI system. Transparency is also about explaining, giving the source of the paper that is referred in the answer. It's then about fairness. So you should treat, an equality. You should treat all people in the same way, so not introducing bias. For example, if the expert is asking a question and non-expert is asking a question, you expect the system to give the value to those users, no matter their expertise. Of course, about reliability and safety. So all the guardrails that you would put on top of the system. And finally, I mentioned it, privacy and security. And it's not only principles. It has to be inserted in all the execution processes. It's really a matter of execution.
Thank you, Philippe. So we discussed how collaborating with the ecosystem is key. We discussed the importance of building trust, within the ecosystem. Maybe, Uday, to terminate this roundtable, can you share, other challenges that are still on the critical path to success for pharma companies?
Yes, sure. So we mentioned some of the ingredients of successful transformations, like to focus, where to start, choose the right use cases, where to move the needle. We discussed the availability of the technology that can enable that, also the availability of the data that we need to access to. I would add probably 3 elements. One of them is that it's very key to transform versus just doing projects, is to make sure that it's business-led. And to be business-led, it's a matter of acculturation. How everyone in the company understands the opportunities behind data and AI and embeds that in their ways of working. And to do that is through acculturation, massive acculturation. It's a big investment, but it's a must-have, so that it's not a group like mine of 30 people who will be driving the innovation from outside. It needs to come from the business. And I give you examples. The fact that employees and colleagues and everyone is waiting for that. We launched digital learning pathway, non-mandatory e-learning pathway, and more than 25 of our colleagues participated and got a badge, meaning that they went through the quiz. It's non-mandatory, so it means that they're expecting that. We have facilitated AI, responsible AI webinars, and also more than 25% of the colleagues participated actively. They are waiting for that. The other elements, the second is about the data governance. Yes, we have the technology, we can identify data sources, but if we don't manage the right definitions, the business rules, we might end up with definitions that might be different depending on the clinical trial. What do we call patient screened? It's 5 here, 7 here, depending on who is providing the number. It's like a lotto, and we don't know why. So how do we make sure that it's fully identified and whatever we say is the single source of truth? And third, to conclude, it's how we embed the responsible AI framework into the ways of working of the company, because without that, we don't manage sustainable growth.
Thank you very much, Ude. I think it was a perfect way to terminate this roundtable. So thank you to all of you, and thank you for your participation. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.